Greetings and welcome to Road to Guitar Mastery, the ongoing show where I attempt to master the guitar by breaking it down into its most fundamental pieces. Today we are going to discuss precision playing and some exercises we can incorporate to save energy while improving accuracy in both hands. Let's start with some tips for the strumming hand. This first exercise may be the most logical starting point for any guitarist. A large goal on the guitar is being able to accurately hit a string while using as little energy as possible. So for this exercise, set a metronome to a very slow speed. I chose 40 beats per minute and isolate that down strum. Try to hit the exact same spot every time with the same velocity. Check to make sure you aren't wasting any energy by tensing unnecessary muscles. When it comes to precision, every action must be annoyingly in time, so think about what part of the beat the attack happens and what part of the beat you reset back to the original position. I attack on the downbeat and reset on the upbeat. You can then follow this logic to incorporate a string skip. For this motion, I reset and move my arm both on the upbeat. From here, I make sure I know where each string is while maintaining the robotic precision. When every motion is set to the time grid, you can then increase the speed. As you get even faster, you can eventually transition into smoother playing, which will then have the improved accuracy that you practiced. Now let's look at the fretting hand. For a lot of this precision work, I use a pocket guitar that you can get online for about $10, but a real guitar works just as well. For this first exercise, practice lifting each finger individually. This will help to separate each finger's function. We also want to train each finger to stay as close to the fretboard as possible. In my experience, the pinky is the biggest roadblock in this endeavor. Every time my middle finger would go down, my pinky would go to the roof. So I practiced pulling my pinky down every time my middle finger would strike. Another trouble spot for me was my ring finger every time my pointer finger would go down. With patience and practice, all these tiny motions can be controlled, so stick with it. Another precision element we must consider is the difference between stretching our fingers to the right spot versus using micro movements. The problem with stretching, especially on the pocket guitar, is that my hand isn't big enough to hit the exact right spot on the fret, which is the opposite of precision playing. To combat this, I train my fretting arm to pick up the slack with micro movements. This allows my fingers to maintain a more comfortable position while keeping the fretting accuracy intact. Just like the picking arm motion, as you increase the speed, these jerky micro movements transition into a smooth, accurate technique. One last precision element to consider for the fretting hand is muting. Notice how the tips of my fingers are all touching the string above as they fret. This will greatly clean up unwanted string ring, so it's a valuable skill to practice. You can also isolate this on the guitar by playing your fretted note followed by the muted string to make sure your fingers are in the correct position. Become proficient in all these small areas, and I'm sure the cleanliness of your playing will improve. That's all I have for this lesson. If you'd like to see daily tips and tricks, follow me on Instagram at the Godhouse Studio. And if you'd like to further support the show, a link to my Patreon is available in the description. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will be back with another episode shortly. Take care, everyone. Take care, everyone.